Welcome to All About Tools Live. I'm John.
And I'm Peter.
Peter.
I'm not admitting who I am.
And we're All About Tools.
Well,
okay.
Anyway, hey, before we get going, I wanted to say hi tonight to John in Alabama, and you wanted to
say hi to Danny and Kim. I had lunch with them today, and they know who they are, and they're going to be watching. So, hi, Danny and Kim.
And I hope you know who you are, John.
That's right, absolutely.
We had a question last week that completely caught Tom Feltus from Bessie off guard.
Right.
And even though he knew the answer, sometimes it's not always to remember when you're on.
Well, I think we had him flustered.
Yeah,
so.
we did.
We did.
But you know, he had time to regroup mentally, and he gave us the answer. And I'll let John tell you what it was.
Okay, this is for Charlie in Jacksonville, Florida, right?
Okay.
Charlie, the steel on the Bessie clamps is made from bright cold drawn 1045 steel, otherwise known as C45. The sliding arm is drop forged, and the screw has a rolled Acme thread, not an Acme thread, an Acme thread.
But I thought only Wile E. Coyote used Acme products.
Well, I don't know. I think that Bessie is using it as well.
There you go.
The rails on the tradesman's clamps are also C45 steel. And the neat thing about Bessie clamps is that all of their steel is heat treated to the core, not just around the edge. So what that means is it optimizes the molecular structure for the best mechanical properties. Whatever that means, I don't know. I'm not sure. But
it's impressive.
It's impressive, and it should be pretty cool.
And because Charlie stumped Tom, Charlie gets a T-shirt.
Okay, very good. All right, this is our first out-of-the-box episode. This is the new 001 package from Festool, and they're putting packages together now. This is available while supplies last only, and we've not opened this box yet. So if what's supposed to be in it isn't in it, we don't know. So
but that's what makes it
we're
fun.
This is live. Real quick.
This is live.
That's right.
TV.
This is supposed to be a super deal. This is 3 tools and a bunch of accessories. Look at this. Look at this packaging.
Paper. All we got was paper.
All right, good deal.
Now, before we get into this,
right?
What makes this particular box so special?
I don't know. What does?
That this is the only box of its kind on our show.
On our show, that's right.
We're going to sell this box, and
that's right.
And we'll sign the stuff in it if you buy it.
Well, okay, you can. I was thinking that we would offer you a certificate of authenticity. So that this was on the set of All About Tools, and if that means anything to anybody, that's great.
You get sandpaper.
Okay, right.
That's a good start.
Sandpaper for what? Oh, this is the jigsaw.
Aha.
Okay, it comes with a jigsaw.
And in here, I also see this is like Christmas,
right?
I also see in here jigsaw blades. I see, boy, a whole lot of jigsaw blades.
Now, we've not gone over the jigsaw yet on the show at all, but this is the D handle. This is the Tryon, so this would be the PS300.
That's what handle? That's a barrel, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry, barrel grip, right. And just quickly, some of the neat features on the Festool. To change blades, all you do is lift this lever and pull the blade in and out. It's got, come on. One thing at a time.
I'm having fun.
One thing
Go
at
ahead.
a time. It's got the forward motion, aggressive cut, and straight up and down. It's got variable speed. And one thing that's unique about the Festool, I believe still unique, is that there's a lower guard. I don't know if we can get this right here, Dave. There's a lower guard, and this is kind of like a bandsaw. And what happens is you got your standard roller up here, but then this little guide is adjustable. It's got a carbide face on it. It's adjustable, and it actually doesn't grip the blade, but runs smooth on the outside of it. And if a blade can't turn like this, if it can't twist, it won't bend. So one thing that I relate to all the time, I used to do a lot of laminate work, and if you ever did laminate work and you cut out a sink cutout, and then you tried to take out just a little bit more, and the saw blade always bends at an angle, this saw will not do this. This will take off a half a saw blade without deflecting at all, which is really cool. It'll also cut through a 4x4. You can do scroll cutting in a 4x4. So that's pretty cool. That's in the box.
And
what do you got there?
It comes with an incredible assortment of blades.
Okay. What's the longest blade they give you in there? They give you one to cut through a 4x4? I don't think so.
No.
No, that's the special long one. Okay, so you don't get that.
But you still get you get 5 different types of blades in here. I see there's a bimetal in there. That's
this
good.
is the C12. I'm not going to open this.
That's the drill.
It's the C12 drill that we had on the show last week. Actually, let me just open it real quick in case somebody wasn't on the show last week. And what do you got there?
I have both the centric and the right angle chuck.
We'll take them out of the box and show the people. Ken? This is the 12-volt D handle. And this one is a unique drill, so you need to read up on this one. It's really cool. This one comes with the Centrotech chuck, which just pops right off. And they have a full line of tools that goes into this. All right? And I believe right there
I have drill bits.
Are drill bits that actually pop right into here. Let me just show you here.
Point?
Let me set this box down here. Actually, here's a drill bit right here. There's a full set of drills. Little brad point there, and they pop out like that, and that goes in just like that, and you're set up. Isn't that cool?
That also has a Jacobs chuck in there, right?
Yes, there's a Jacobs chuck standard, and this is a cool little feature. This is all magnetic on here, so you just stick your bits in there. That's kind of cool. All right.
And this also comes with the eccentric chuck, so you're able to get a drill right up against, or a driver right up against a flat surface, so you don't have to try to bend them in. And then it also has a right angle chuck, which will allow you to take and drill around
Drill
corners.
a right angle. That's right. Yep.
All right.
All right. And the last thing in here is the ETS 150/5. That's the 5-inch random orbit sander. So this is great. So it all comes packed in a neat box. And
you also get all this paper with it.
Yep, an assortment of sandpaper. So you've got drill bits, you've got jigsaw blades, you've got sandpaper, and you've got the extra chucks. And I believe the savings, well, actually, I don't believe it. I know it is because it says it on the box, is $135. So it's on special for $9.95. So if you want this one, place your order today. And
I'm sure this will be gone within a day. So
yeah, and we will give you a certificate of authenticity that this was on our show stage, and that and $1.35 will get you a regular cup of coffee at a place like Starbucks.
unless you can get the $1.35 at Starbucks.
Well, yeah, no, maybe more than that. Okay, let me slide this off on the side, and we just want to mention real quickly the Festool rebate program. And I'm going to go ahead and put this table up while I'm talking. The Festool rebate is you buy a minimum of 3 tools, and you save $90. And on every tool after 3 tools, you save $30 a tool. And you get this rebate form off their website. Fill it out with the serial numbers, and they send you a check back. It's as simple as that. So now we're going to talk about straight edges.
Okay. And if you're missing the drill bits out of your box, sorry.
Yeah, we'll throw those in there.
We want to take some time to talk about straight edges. It's something most people don't talk about, but it's important nonetheless because this can make or break a lot of projects. And this applies to whether you're doing solid surface or doing woodwork, anytime you need a straight cut. This is probably one of the original straight edge surfaces that went out on the market, which is basically it's an anodized aluminum. They're ribbed, so they have a fair amount of strength. These we sell in a 31, a 48, and a 102, is it, I believe?
We have a 102.
102. The 3 lengths.
But we also have a package of 2. What we did was we had a bunch of 16-footers left over, to be honest with you. So Ken's son was here for the summer, and we had him cut them all into a 2-piece package of a 100-inch and a 50-inch.
Correct, nominal.
Right, nominal. Yeah. So they have a saw cut on the end. They're not anodized on the end, but we've got a blowout special on those for $255 for the set. So if you're looking for an aluminum straight edge, that's a really good deal.
That's right, and it's a blowout. So.
Right.
Okay. But here we have our standard sets, which are finished on the ends, both ends.
Right.
And as I said, these were the original straight edges, and they worked fairly well for quite a while. These are 5/16 of an inch thick, 6 inches wide, And they're fine for either running your skill saw, your circular saw against the edge of it, or running a router on it and letting the collar guide run right in here.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Run your base on it. Yep.
Okay, let's talk about that. Now, there's several ways to run a router against a straight edge. There's a lot of different ways. So one way is with a collar guide, which is this right here, and this fits into the router. Your router bit passes through this, and what this does is this sits on your router sets on the guide, and the template rides against the edge. Now, one of the reasons that this is really a nice feature is that there's nothing spinning here at all. So there's nothing to wear on here, and it's a great way to do it. Correct.
And it gives you a very smooth, straight, clean cut. And these things absolutely worked great. But they had some limitations. It was hard to get long, straight, continuous cuts.
Right.
But they still worked well. So, which eventually led us really to another type of straight edge. But before we get to that type of straight edge,
let me show you one thing really cool about that. We'll be talking about this a little bit more. But this is the Beaver Easy seam. And what's really cool about this is we turn on our vacuum pump here. Set that in place. This has a little ridge on it that lips right over the edge of the straight edge. You just pop that down, and that straight edge is going nowhere.
I'm worried I'm going to go on my butt.
Okay, so that's great. And this will work on the aluminum straight edges, and the other side will work on our half-inch phenolic straight edges.
Correct.
So
that's one of the great things about the Beaver Easy seamers. I know there are other vacuum pods on the market, and I've owned some of the others and I've used them. What's great is this is the only one that I'm aware of that's notched for 1/4 inch on one side, 1/2 inch on the other side. Actually, 5/16 and 1/2 inch. So this will hold down either a phenolic straight edge or aluminum.
Right.
And where that really pays a great dividend, and I just want to make you aware of something like this, a lot of guys out there in the industry have repair
templates,
repair templates such as this one, and where it is really great to have something like the vacuum clamps is whenever you're trying to get these onto a countertop, it is extremely hard sometimes to get the clamps to hold this in place because you have such little clamping surface when you're trying to enter your router in at an angle like this and you're trying to get the clamps and this is tilted like that or something like that. The great thing about these is anywhere on the countertop surface you can lip it over this and over that, and it will pin it down.
Yep.
And it won't budge. So it's a great tool.
All right. So
Great
we'll
tool.
be showing a little bit more about these when we talk about seaming in the last episode here, last segment. Okay. Next thing we're going to talk about
is the phenolic. This really became one of the real innovations of the industry once we got into interlocking phenolic. Because prior to that, really, guys used straight edges, and whenever they got to radiuses, they would either have to freehand cut them or make a second template or use a tool and try to grind a radius into it. What these allowed people to do was to take, using corner pieces, which are of all different values. This happens to be a 1 inch inside and outside corner. And what you were able to do is you could take, and using, you didn't want to use a hammer because you'll damage these, but something like a rubber mallet or a dead blow hammer, you can interlock the pieces. As you can see, they won't come apart. And you could take 2 pieces quite simply by interlocking them. You've got either an inside or an outside L.
Right.
So when you do, go ahead.
This same fixture in an aluminum fixture runs about $200. But when you can interchange all of these, you've got the same fixture over and over again for any inside and outside corner, which is really handy.
And as you can see, this will interlock with there's 1.5 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch.
There's a 6 inch.
6 inch. 90 degree, which this is critical. This is great when you do a cooktop cutout because obviously for an inside corner on a countertop you want to have a minimum of a 1 inch radius, which is what we have here.
That's correct.
This will give you a 1/4 inch, but this is great for cooktops. Sometimes some sinks you have to use them. That allows you to do that.
Now, you know, we've had, you know, customers that when I talk to people, I'm sorry, there's somebody out there just waving. I know, we have a commercial coming up. Okay, 5 minutes.
Oh, that's why getting blind with lasers.
Okay, seriously, people ask about the phenolic and whether or not it will bend or not. And yes, if you're going to do a long section, an 8-foot section, it may bend. But simply to do that, all you have to do is either put a vacuum pod behind it, a glue block behind it to stop it from bowing, and it's no problem. Now, another thing that I want to mention with long straight edges, like a 12-foot straight edge, you know, they're expensive and they're easily damaging. What I recommend is if you need to do a long edge, okay, say you needed to do a 15-foot edge. Of course, you wouldn't do it with this one, but let's say with this one you had to do one that was a little bit longer. All you'll do is take 3 glue blocks, put one at this end, one in the middle, one at this end, and then sliding it against those glue blocks, put a 4th glue block. Then when you get all those in, you just bring it back, you'll route along the straight edge, and you'll just slide it as you go. So the whole movement, you get a nice straight edge, and you don't have to spend money on a 12-foot straight edge, because I guarantee, folks, it is going to get damaged in your shop very quickly. It's expensive to freight it, it's expensive to purchase it, and once it's damaged, you're going to end up with a bunch of small pieces.
Now, another thing you could do is you could take your 4-foot straight edge and your 8-foot straight edge, and you could use this handy joiner plate right here.
You can, yes.
And by taking this and tapping that on,
right?
And this is a 31-inch and a 41-inch straight edge.
Right.
Now I have a long straight edge that way, so
now,
I could join a 4.
Is that in fact very straight? Do we know? I mean, is that?
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
you think
it
that's
is.
really?
Oh yeah, I've done it before. I've used it.
Okay.
It's no problem at all.
Right. And now, especially, you know, we didn't talk about this base here, but this base here, rather than running a bearing or a template guide along this edge, if you run this base along the edge, you're actually broadcasting out the small imperfections that could appear in a top or in an edge anywhere. Let's say you had a big gash in here where you ran a router bit. If you ran this over it, it wouldn't make any difference. It would pass right over it. And the nice thing about this base is 2 edges are a 1/16th closer to the center than the other. So you can make a rough cut, and then you can rotate it and make a second finish cut.
Just by rotating it 90 degrees.
Right. But I think we're, you know, it's a great set, and if we have any questions on it, we can talk about it after commercial. I think we're ready to go. Oh, we have 1 minute. We need to stretch it out a little bit.
That gives me some more time, because a couple things I wanted to point out is this set also comes with, and I know we have a 45 around here somewhere. But
we do, but it's not, well, we don't have it here.
This
actually.
is the 22.5. It also comes with 45 and 22.5 degree inside-outside corners, which are very common for guys working on countertops. And then also, there's a small handy extension, so when you do a return,
that's right. Yeah,
you can bang that on there, and then connect this to one of the longer edges, and you've got your finished return on a countertop. So the phenolic, it's offered a whole different change in a different direction for people in fabrication as far as doing countertops.
But there is a place for aluminum.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
It's a scrapyard.
Just all right. We'll be back.